Tut is? How many people know who King Tut is? You ever see his mother?
No.
You ever see his mother? Look at her. She is beautiful.
I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna touch that one. I appreciate you opening it up for me. I like how you set it up for me to say something, but I let it pass. Thank you. Sorry, man.
Huh? This is by the way, that's King Tut next to her, the child, but that's his mother right there. You know. And going back to the Bible, you know, I know all of y'all heard the story about how Joseph and Mary, they had to go to Egypt and hide out and stuff like that. Now, if the authorities was after any of y'all, right, would you go hide in A.S.I.A? Would you? Or DeVoe or something like that? Or Newport? Exactly. You'll go where they look around, they can't tell who you is. So they went to Egypt, so you know what Egyptians look like. So you know what Mary and Joseph had to look like and what their child looked like. You know? And like I said, the importance of knowing information like this is that it's not in the interest of some people to tell you this information. Why? My car, I had to get it fixed like 2 weeks ago, right?
I like how you draw these parables, though. You go.
I had to get my car fixed. I took it to a mechanic. The mechanic didn't say, okay, come with me in the garage, threw my hood up, and showed me everything he was doing. You know what he told me? Just give me the keys and come back in about an hour, I have it fixed. So it wasn't in his best interest to say, Saladin, come here, let me show you exactly what I'm doing so that next time if it happens, you won't have to come to me and give me $150 to get your car fixed. That's his business. That's his job. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not in his best interest to tell me what he's doing. Same thing with a doctor.
Right.
If you go to a doctor,
you're sick.
It's not in their best interest to heal you, no matter how much they like you. Because if they're healing everybody, will they have a job?
No.
No. So what they do is they treat you. They give you this medication, and then this is going to cause that, so you need a medication for this, and then you need this for that medication, blah, blah, blah. Now you're going to see me again in a couple weeks. But that's their job. That's their job. You see? So there's a lot of times it's not in the best interest for people to tell you things. You got to go get it yourself. You have to go get it yourself. And the beauty of it is, like I said, I had parents that put me on this path when I was that age. We was talking about Africa, and I knew that at his age. You know? Through my father, through my mother. He collected African figures. So I'm knowing things about certain tribes and stuff like
Especially
that.
When
He used to take us out to we have Native American ancestry in us too. He would take us out to the reservation, the Tuscarora Reservation. You know, exposing us to different information like that. So I'm blessed to have that. There's a lot of people that don't have that. But like I said, he put me on this path very early, and I'm still on it because I see the value and the importance of it. Because now I know who I am. In 2005, I know I went a little over 15 minutes, but in 2005, I did a mentorship program at the NAC. Now, how many people during Black History Month saw this series by Henry Louis Gates, and he was doing the maternal ancestry?
If you said you've seen it,
I was doing that 3 years before he even thought about that. And I worked at the NAC, and I got them to pay for those DNA kits. And they're $400 each. And you know what I did with them? I just handed them out to people in the community so they could trace their ancestry. I traced our ancestry, and this is a certification. They checked my DNA, and they found that 20 generations back, my mother...
It doesn't hurt. It's just like a cotton swab.
Yeah.
They don't sit you on no table and be like, yeah, you know, you don't leave with no screw bolts in your neck and nothing. Just a little cotton swab. Done.
This is the continent of Africa, and the place that my mother's ancestry was traced to is a country called Cameroon. So the guy who started the technology, he's a young guy. He's like in his 40s. He's a geneticist he's in D.C., and he started a company called African Ancestry. And what he did is he took over 30,000 different DNA samples from tribes and people that lived in the so-called Middle East, Europeans, Native Americans. He created a big database. And with the database, what he could do is match up your DNA sequence with the database, and he can tell exactly where your ancestry goes to. Now, not only the location in the region, but also the tribe. So I know what tribe my mother's comes from.
Yeah.
So that gave me more of a sense to do more research on that. The tribe that my maternal ancestry, I didn't do my paternal ancestry yet, my father's side. But on my mother's side, tribe called the Niagara tribe from Cameroon. So I could learn different things about them and everything, and it gave me more insight into who I am. So the swag I have is not based off belief.
You're so corny. You're so corny.
You see what I'm saying? Sometimes you could come amongst different people who have a sense of who they are, and they have a certain confidence about themselves. Same thing with spiritual people, because they have a knowledge of God. So once they know, they're not walking around all unsure. The same thing with him. Look at his swag. It's like this. Like, I know what I'm talking about. And you see a lot of other people who know their culture, who know their history, even little children, walking around with confidence. They know they're Italian.
Pokemon.
That's right. You know that's right.
They have traditions, they have culture, and that's been passed down to them. Now with us, a lot of us, we find that on our own. You see, there's been a disconnection a lot of times with a lot of the traditions and the stuff that's passed on. For example, this is just something that's just more recent. When I was little growing up, me and my brothers, we spent a lot of time in Unity Park. You know what I'm saying?
UP.
Now, even though we was over there, and my parents may have known other parents over there, if they saw us doing something that we wasn't supposed to be doing, they could whoop us. No question, you getting a whooping. And once we get that whooping over there, and they call and tell what we was doing over there, as soon as we get home, and it was a long walk.
You know what the thing is, though?
It was a long walk to get there. And I got two brothers, right? So we getting there, and I'm like, oh, man, you know, like, it's three of us, so I'm trying to be third in line. We all don't want to go in the house.
And who would you push? Who would you make go first? I wonder. Yeah.
But when we get home, we get another whooping. You see? Because we had that type of bond with each other, and that type of caring, and that type of connection. Nowadays, you see a child doing something, you hardly don't want to say nothing to them because they may pull a gun out on you. And after they do that, their mama come out and pull a knife out on you.
Or the kid will pull out a cell phone and be like, I'm calling Child Protective Services.
So even in, how old are you? How old are you? 9. I'm 35. So even in that,
You're 35.
Just a few years, we have a lot of traditions that have been lost. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, I say all of this to just say that, you know, first and foremost, with the analogy with the belief and the knowledge, you have to know. When you go into school, you believe you're going to get good grades? Do you? You believe you're just going to get good grades? Or do you study and do your work? You guess? When you're in school, do you believe you're going to get good grades, or do you study and know through your studying that that's going to produce good grades? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not trying to hurt everybody that's in my family that's here, but I'm just gotta say I'm the only one who can spell good.
You say you're the only one that can spell good?